This is Chapter 4, Lesson 6, Construct Functions. So again, I can construct functions. I can analyze graphs, words, and tables. So the initial value of a function is the corresponding y value when x equals 0. You can find the initial value of a function from graphs, words, and tables. So let's take a look at some examples. Number 1 says a shoe store offers free points when you sign up for their rewards card. Then, for each pair of shoes purchased, you earn an additional number of points. The graph shows the total points earned for several pairs of shoes. Find and interpret the rate of change and the initial value. Okay, so here's my graph over here. So notice I started out with some just free points that they gave me. For 2 pairs of shoes, it was 60 points earned. For 4 pairs, I earned 90. Okay, so I want to find the rate of change. So I choose 2 points from the graph. Here we chose 90 points for 4 pairs and 60 points for 2 pairs. 90 minus 60 is 15. 90 minus 60 is 30. 4 minus 2 is 2. Simplified, I get 15 points for a pair of shoes. The rate of change is 15, so the number of points earned per pair of shoes is 15. Next, I find the initial value, or the y value, when x equals 0. Recall this value is called the y-intercept. So I can extend the line and see that it intersects the y-axis. The value of y when x equals 0 is 30. So the initial number of points earned is 30. Okay, and we can look at this graph. We can see that this line, when we extend it, will get us to 30. Example number 2. Says Joan has some photos in her photo album. Each week she plans to add 12 photos. Joan had 120 photos after 8 weeks. Assume the relationship is linear. Find and interpret the rate of change and initial value. So, since each week Joan adds 12 photos in her photo album, the rate of change is 12. To find the initial value, use slope-intercept form to find the y-intercept. So my slope-intercept form, as we recall, is y equals mx plus b. So y equals 12. Remember, that's my slope, my change. X plus b, I have 120 photos after week 8, because that's what they gave us originally. So 8 is my x value, 120 photos is my total y value. So I have 120 equals 12 times 8. 12 times 8 gives me 96. So 120 minus 96 gives me 24. So she started with 24 photos. Example number 3 says the table shows how much money Ava has saved. Assume the relationship between the two quantities is linear. Find and interpret the rate of change and initial value. So I can choose any 2 points from my table. So here's my table right here. Okay. Choose any 2 points from the table to find the rate of change. So for this one, they used 150 and 5 and 110 and 3. So when I simplify this, 150 minus 110 over 5 minus 3, it gives me 20. So Ava saves $20 each month. To find the initial value, I can use the slope-intercept form to find the y-intercept. So y equals mx plus b. Y equals 20x plus b, because that was my slope. I just found that. Okay. And in the original, I just picked a number. I just picked a point. So I picked 3 and 110. So 20 times 3 gives me 60, and I subtract it from 110, so b equals 50. So the y-intercept is 50, so Ava initially saved $50. Okay. On the next page, there are a couple of try-it problems. I want you to go ahead, pause the video, Try them out, and when you're done, we will go over the answers together. Okay, so now that you've had a chance to try out the try problems, let's go over the answers together. Letter A says Music Inc. charges a yearly subscription fee plus a monthly fee. The total cost for different numbers of months, including the yearly fee, is shown in the graph. Find and interpret the rate of change and the initial value. Okay, so here's my graph over here. I'm going to take 2 points. I'm going to take 1 15 and 2 18. So 18 minus 15 over 2 minus 1 equals 3 over 1, or $3. So $3 is my monthly fee. Okay. So that's my rate of change. So I have y equals 3x plus b. Then I'm going to plug in one of my points. So 15 equals 3 times 1 plus b. So 15 equals 3 plus b. I subtract 3 from both sides, so I get 12. So b is my yearly fee. So $12 is my yearly fee. Letter B says a zoo charges a rental fee plus $2 per hour for strollers. The total cost for 5 hours is $13. Assume the relationship is linear. Find and interpret the rate of change and the initial value. So they charge a rental fee plus $2 per hour for strollers. So that is my rate of change. Is $2. So y equals mx plus b, y equals 2x plus b, because that was my slope. $2 per hour for strollers. X is my number of hours, and y is my total cost. So they gave me 5 hours and $13. So for $13, I get 2 times 5 plus b. So 13 equals 10 plus b. I subtract 10. So 3 equals b. So the rental fee is $3. So the hourly fee is $2 and the rental fee is $3. All right, letter C says the table shows the monthly cost of sending text messages. Assume the relationship between the two quantities is linear. Find and interpret the rate of change and initial value. Okay. So the table I'm given has number of messages X for 5, 6, and 7, and the cost Y. Okay. So I need to figure out my rate of change. So I'm going to take 2 points. I'm going to take the values for 6 and 5. So 1060 minus 1050 over 6 minus 5. So this gives me 0.1 over 1. So my rate of change is 10 cents. So that rate of change is each text. So each text costs 10 cents. Okay, and then I can plug this in to slope-intercept form. Okay, so I'm going to plug it in for one of my values. I'm going to say 1050 equals 0.10 times 5 plus b. This gives me 1050 equals 0.5 plus b. I subtract 0.5 from both sides. and I get 10. So the initial cost of the plan is $10. And that is the end of lesson 6.